Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really happy to see you again here after a little while. It was kind of a break from YouTube, but nevertheless we're here again. So let's continue this mini series of kick producing, if I can say like that. And this time we're gonna target the low end of the kick. So how can we make, or how do I do it's maybe a better terminology. How do I make my kicks thumping, if you could say that. I don't know if this is right in English, but never mind. I hope you understand what I mean. I mean the kick, the pressure, the thing that you can feel physically produced by a subwoofer, not by headphones in any mean. So yes, there are headphones that can reproduce low end, but we're not looking for this. We are looking to get the kick sounding right in the club, on PA systems, on subwoofers maybe in the car, and in general to just keep, or to just get the kick bumping. I hope you understand what I mean, but I will show you. First of all, before we start this, you'll need either a good pair of headphones, a subwoofer, or if you maybe have one, but I don't think that you have one because I don't know many people who have this item, a sub pack, which is basically a backpack that you wear that is a subwoofer. So it really has so many cool features about it that you should, if you produce, you should really think about to get a hand on one of these. I think the model that I have is the MX2. It's like an older version. I already got it a year or two, but there is a new sub pack coming. I don't know the real name for it. Oh, hold on a second, I just googled it. Oh yeah, it's called this sub pack X1. Looks really nice, has like a Bluetooth feature and an app so that you can basically monitor, and there's also a sub pack that you can basically snap on your chair, also really cool. But anyways, it doesn't matter if it's the old one, the new one. You can basically wear the subwoofer on top of your back, and the advantage that this device brings you is basically that you don't need to treat your room right. Because if you have a subwoofer in your room, you need to treat your room acoustically, because otherwise the frequencies or the sound waves of the sub frequency will stack up on each other in certain points, or they will cancel each other out in other areas. So in each way, either you tend to crank up the bass and you think that you can hear it or you can feel it, or you think, shit, this track is like fully packed with sub bass, but in reality you just have half of it or a quarter or nearly to nothing. So anyway, you can't monitor your kick and your mix right in the right way, and you need to invest a lot of money, a lot of time. You need to study some books, blah 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 blah, to get your room acoustically treated. And you can just overpass this point and just buy a sub pack for a couple $100, and that's it. So now that we have this one, oh, one moment. The sub pack is this little device. Just need to calibrate it every time that I use it, so that I know that I'm like using the right amount of sub that is going into and out of my sub pack, so that I can basically match it to my song or my production in this time and get the low end right. So enough talking for now, let's hop into the DAW and I'll show you what I mean. So here we are inside of Ableton. This is the latest project that I'm working on. It's a remix for a good friend of mine called David Sellers, and the track is called Last Hope. I won't play the track now because this is not what we're looking for. I only will focus on the kick in this time. I already worked on the kick, did all of the arrangement already, and had like the kick already sorted out. But before I go on to the next step and mix a track, I need to check, and this is really important for every one of you, you need to check the sub frequencies and if the kick is working properly for you, especially in techno, which is club-based music. So you need to have a kick that is pumping, that you can feel literally in your chest. And then I don't mean like the kick is packed up with like a lot and hit tons of sub frequencies, and you just feel like everything is just squashed down. I don't work every time with a sub pack. I only use it like a few times every time before I start mixing, try to get the kick right. And when I know the kick is right and when I know the kick is working, because it's basically the only thing in the low end, or maybe some sub notes playing like in the break, but they don't really care that the levels are not important there. What is really important is that the kick is functioning right. If the kick is not pumping right, the crowd will react to it like in kind of disappointment. You really need this bumping effect where the kick hits you in the chest, and this is achieved mainly in the range from C1 to C2, here to here, in this area, from 65 or roughly 65 hertz to 130, 140 hertz, something like that. Here's the range where the kick is like hitting, if I can describe it right. All below is like the low end, sub frequencies, sub bass and stuff. But since the kick in techno is one combined element, and you have like this reverb tail which is clogging up the sub frequencies, you need to focus on this specific region, because when you compress the kick in the wrong way, which I did, or it's not the wrong way, but I compressed it too much and didn't care about the feel of the kick, because I only were using headphones, because I used to produce on the go, like when I have lunchtime or something at work, always my laptop with me, just normal stereo headphones, so I just can't control the low end. And this is what the kick sounds like. I just play it for you real quick. So if you're using a right monitor system, you should notice that you can hear the kick ticking, like you hear the ticking sound, but afterwards there's not like one push in the sub frequencies that gives you like this boom, like if like someone is hitting you or giving you a punch, a light punch. No, it's like this. You hear a click sound, and then afterwards it's just this one big rumble. It's just like, it reminds me kind of dark techno music. If you remember, like 5 to 10 years ago, there was a huge dark techno scene all around Stuttgart, and the productions from this time, it just sounds like this, like even more limited, even more compressed. You just hear a click, and then the rest is just bass from start to finish. You don't have like any space where you can distinguish kick and bass, and there's like so little space between the kicks that it just sounds like one big mess. There's nothing to feel a kick properly, because a kick, if you listen to tech house or house or other genres, is short. It gives you like just one punch and then out. So we need to emulate this to get like a pumping kick. You need to get the right amount, and it's like you need a little bit of testing here and there how to work it out, but everything you need is basically a dynamic EQ. I set up here another EQ and already marked times, because this kick is in E. This is the key of the kick. And in this region, as we already know, is the bump of the kick. And here are the sub frequencies of the kick, so the tail. What we also need is, because I think that this kick is like too much subby, and we will still, after mastering it, will compress the kick anyway, so we just try to cut up some low frequencies. Let's just hear it, how it sounds. Sounds a little bit cleaned up. Now activate the other EQ. As you can see here, I got my sidechain kick trigger, which is a send only channel, so you can't hear it, but it sends the signal, and it is a pretty short kick. So what we are gonna do now, to emulate, we need an envelope follower. This is a Max for Live audio device. You just plop it on here, map the follower to the specific gain volume knob. Just need to set it right. So we go here, 50% is the starting point, and we go up to 90%. This is the ending point. So every time the signal arrives at the envelope follower, it gives a signal to this gain knob to follow this upper signal. So it will boost up this frequency every time that the signal arrives, and this will basically give your kick a bump. It will give you the bumpiness. So let's listen how this sounds. and this is already a huge difference. If you're using like a subwoofer, you can definitely hear it or feel it. But by doing this, you will also like boost up some of the low frequencies in the sub region. You just do the vice versa and just drop the sub frequencies every time that the kick is hitting, really, so that you really get a nice and cleaner sound, and you get not that much of a volume boost, but more just of a frequency shift, if you can say it like that. So we're doing the other way around. Map to the B part, which is here, 5, map to it. Also starting point at 50%, and this time we're not going up to 100%, we're going down to, let's say, 25%. Now let's hear how this sounds. Where's my mouse? Here. Oh. And you're done. Your kick is now working perfectly. Just render out the kick. I already did it. Just set your input to 5.5. You can just do it. Just move this kick away. It doesn't matter. You can create a new audio track. Doesn't matter really. Just select into your track. And now that you select the output to this track, you need to push the record button and push this record button. Okay, and you're done. Now we're setting this to automatic. Back to master. Let's listen to the kick now. Hold on. Let's chop this up so that we don't have like all of the recording. And now let's listen to it. Can now compare the kicks if you want. So in this kick, in the old kick, you really hear like this flap, this flat ticking noise, and then afterwards it's just some sub frequencies that are randomly there, so it don't sound like a real kick. But this one is really punchy and powerful. Obviously, this will need some compression, some EQ maybe to refine, maybe a low cut, but you will need a linear phase EQ, which I don't have, so I just let my mastering engineer do this step for me when he masters the tracks for me. And that's pretty much it. Alright. Thank you very much for sticking around till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you could learn something useful. If you do so, please don't forget to show some love, like, comment, subscribe, show maybe this video to a friend of yours. Doesn't matter, every kind of support is really appreciated. Thank you very much, and yeah, hopefully see you in the next video, talking again about kicks, different topic, maybe compression, I don't know, we'll see when it's time for that. Wish you all a nice weekend, and yeah, that's it. Stay tuned, stay groovy, and stay techno. Bye bye, guys.